reflects the ocean and stars, but her cry echoes around the simple loss of love in her heart, making this whole fairy tale alive. And sorrow's tender embrace, this was never meant to happen. The light of the day, the only reason you have to stay. Hear me sing my song and just keep holding on. Cinderella, why don't you stay with me tonight? We will dance until midnight comes and we could run away. Oh, we will never ever be apart. Set aside all your fears, this magic lives inside your heart. I am here, would you wanna stay with me tonight? Follow me, we will run across the bridge of fantasy. All the pain and sadness that you feel, believe in me, hold me close, don't never let me go. Come and stay with me forever, magic lives so long as I am here.
Well, that was a catchy intro, wasn't it? Well, this is a game called Cinderella Phenomenon by Dicesuki. You wanna know what the real Cinderella Phenomenon is? How Disney pumped out 2 sequels to Cinderella. That was the real phenomenon. So let's start. Got controller support, it's always good. I already changed the settings so the audio isn't overbearing. Tutorial? Nah, we got this. Okay, I thought this had... Okay, no. The controller no longer works. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there were 2 crystals. Not 3, just 2. One was the Crystallum Lucius, protected by the ruler of the fairies. The other was the Crystallum Tenebrarum, which was watched over by the High Leader of the Witches. Which crystal are they watching? The Lucius was sustained by love, happiness, and joy. The Tenebrarum, you want to say Tenenbaum, by fear, anger, and hatred. The fairies and the witches lived in harmony with the humans of the kingdom. They regulated the powers of the crystals in order to maintain balance between darkness and light. But there can be no joy without sadness, no courage without fear, no dark without light. The kingdom was at peace for a time. Then one day, a traveling bard decided to write stories, tales of the magic and wonders of the kingdom. He named these stories fairy tales. In fairy tales, the light always emerged victorious, and true love was a usual reward. Fairy tales spread further than could have ever been predicted. The humans of the kingdom began to believe that fairy tales were true, and that the magic of the witches was inherently wicked and cruel. The witches became hated and feared. Eventually, they were hunted like animals. The witch hunt. The High Leader of the Witches, in all of her anger, created the Fairytale Curse. You think we are wicked? So be it. Just as you have taken our happily ever afters, we shall take yours. The witches used the Fairytale Curse to attack humans indiscriminately, ultimately throwing the kingdom into chaos and darkness. The ruler of the fairies, the Lucius Bearer, sought to regain peace, but the witches were blinded by their hatred for humans, who were responsible for the witch genocide. A terrible war, the Great War, began. How great? Well, just find out. Eventually, the Tenebrarum Bearer, the High Leader of the Witches, was finally defeated. The Tenebrarum was lost, peace was restored, and the light once again triumphed. But darkness can never fully disappear. It always waits in the shadows, patient for when its time will inevitably return. Sign here. I did. How do I sign? I feel like an idiot. Like, okay, now it's the save button. I hit the button. What did that do? Nope. I had the enter key for some reason. Prologue, Ice Princess. My name is Lucette Riella Britton, daughter of King Gennaro Britton III. I am the crown princess of the kingdom of Angielle. At least that's who I was. That's who I used to be. But that was before yesterday, when I became a victim of the infamous Fairytale Curse. You might have heard of it. Did you watch the intro? Everyone has forgotten my birthright. Now, I'm nothing more than a lonely peasant. I feel like I'm stuck in a nightmare. But no, this is my reality now. I still have no idea what I must do to break the curse. I close my eyes and remember that day. It had started like any other day, really. But don't they all? Have you heard? Another person was cursed. My stars and garters. I'm on my way to the dining hall for breakfast when I stop and listen to the sound of hushed voices. There are two maids standing next to each other with brooms in hand. These two are slacking off again. That's terrible. What fairytale curse was it? They say it was Pinocchio. Pinocchio? The fairy tale with the lying boy whose nose grows longer? That's awful. You know, more and more people have been getting cursed lately. You think those wicked witches are up to something again? I thought the fairytale curses would stop after you-know-who was defeated. You two were hired to work, not talk. We're sorry, Your Highness. As can only be expected from the likes of them. Another fairytale curse. Fairytale curse started spreading even before the Great War began. I don't have much interest in its effects, even now. After all, most humans probably deserve to get cursed. The victims are weak. Angielle would be better off without the dead weight. If it were up to Mother, the curse would have been banished from Angielle the instant they fell prey to it. But Mother's not here anymore. And she won't ever come back. Ever. Princess, the king and queen are waiting in the dining hall. On my way. The king, Ophelia, and Rod are all present in the dining hall. Someone is conspicuously missing, but I ignore their absence. Hello. Good morning, Lucette, King Gennaro. Good morning, Your Majesty. Good morning, Lucette. That's Ophelia. Lucette? Ophelia? Ophelia Widensov. Every day I wonder why my father, the king, married a lowly baker. She could never be a true queen, for she pales in comparison to Mother. I take my seat next to the king and then look up at the person sitting opposite me. Rod Benedict Widensov, my stepbrother, is bored and quiet as usual. He's 2 years my junior and is the younger of Ophelia's children. He is mute and uses a plush bunny to voice his thoughts. Alright. It was apparently given to him by a fairy. He minds his own business and is easy to deal with. But his older sister... My eyes go to the empty seat beside him. She is probably the most infuriating person I've ever had the displeasure of knowing. I'm so sorry I'm late. I was reading and forgot the time. That is Emily. And here she is. Good morning, dear father, mother. Good morning, Rod. And good morning to you too, Lucette. It's a beautiful morning, isn't it? It's 4 in the afternoon. Emmeline Widensov, Rod's elder sister and my stepsister. She acts as if we're blood, as if she too were born a princess. As if she could be crown princess, perhaps steal my place. I'll never let that happen. Not a million years. Now that everyone's here, let us begin. The butlers glide inside with silver trays to carefully serve us breakfast. So, Emmeline, You were reading the fairy tale books that the king bought you? Oh yes, there are so many, and they are all so wonderful. Suck up. Thank you so much, Father. I'm happy that you like them. I love them. A good book is a treasure. It's so strange that the library didn't have any of them to begin with. And that's because Mother hated them. She had all the books burned. But why? They are such charming stories. Fairy tales mislead humans into believing they can have things that they don't deserve. Fame, riches, love, happily ever afters. And when their wishes do not come to fruition exactly as they want them to, the humans blame the witches for granting them in the first place. What are you implying about the witches, Lucette? The atmosphere shifts, the air in the room growing heavy. I continue to eat. Perhaps the witches are not responsible for the evil in this world. The evil is in the hearts of man. Perhaps humans are the cause of their own downfall. Have you any idea what you're talking about, child? Witches have caused nothing but pain and suffering to this kingdom. Even now they still spread the fairytale curse to our innocent subjects. The truth is, I know very little about the time the witches had free reign over Angielle. I was very young then. Mother forbade me to leave the palace, sometimes even my own room. I know nothing of the people's supposed pain and suffering. I know nothing outside these walls. Mother kept me away from everyone. And so I can't bring myself to really care. These aren't my problems. How do you know the cursed are innocent? Our people have been toiling day and night to rebuild Angielle after the Great War. Our people are the kingdom's foundation, and I am endlessly grateful for their determination and resolve. Every day I wonder what your mother taught you about. Leave Mother out of this. Dear, please. Lucette, darling, your father didn't mean to. I'm not one of your children, Ophelia. I do not need your sympathy. Lucette, you will show your mother respect. She's not my mother. I set down my fork and knife to stand up. I'm done, excuse me. My father and I have never got on, but our relationship has significantly worsened since he married the baker. My father, the king. It's been 17 years and I have never felt any love from him. He treats someone... I'm gonna call it Emerald. Emerald and Rod, who only entered our life 1 year ago like his own children. Better than he's ever treated me. This has been my life ever since Mother passed away 4 years ago. Mother was the only one that was there for me when no one else was. If it wasn't for the accident during the Great War, she would still be here. Why the sour face so early in the morning, Princess? Those eyes, they're like a cat. Let me guess, it's the king, the queen, or Princess Emerald. Or is it all of them? I ignore his question. Fritz, what are you doing here so early? I'm running some errands for my father. Fitzgerald Aiden Levertron. Okay, when you make names for VNs, just keep it simple. You don't have to make these elaborate names to be different. I mean, you can call him Tom or something. Son of the highest knight of the Order of Caldera. His father, Sir Alcaster, had served the royal family for many years. Sir Alcaster is one of the king's most trusted advisors. 3 years ago, Fritz was assigned the honor of becoming my personal knight. I tried to get a day, but they didn't have any available. His presence is the only company I can tolerate nowadays. You should wait in the throne room, then. Thank you. Princess? Yes? You know, I haven't seen you smile once since I met you. Why is that of any importance? Still, I do hope to see you smile one day, Princess. Well, I won't take up any more of your time, so I'll see you at 10. 10? Don't tell me you've forgotten. Forgotten what? You're going to town today, remember? I deflate as the realization dawns upon me. It's been 2 days since the king issued the order. Flashback. You can tell it's a flashback because it's in monochrome. Lucette, I'd like you to accompany Emerald on one of her town outings. Surely you could send maids with her instead. I would not have requested you to accompany her if I was going to send her with her maids. I want you to make an effort to get along with your sister. Stepsister. She is your sister, and you will treat her and Rod as if they were of your blood. 2 days from now, you're going to accompany Emerald outside. But father, it's been 4 years since you last left the palace. Ever since then, you've locked yourself away. You barely leave your room. Angielle was in the grip of war back then, but now the kingdom is safe and back to its former glory. I want you to see how beautiful Angielle really is for yourself. Lucette, a princess, must know her kingdom. How can you understand the people if you don't convey with them? Go with Emerald and she will show you the town that you only ever see through your windows. Is that an order? If it needs to be. Are we clear? Lucette understood. The last time I left the palace was 4 years ago when the king took me with him to check on the people after the Great War had ended. I shake my head, removing myself from the memory. I'm safe here. Princess, are you alright? It won't be that bad. The townsfolk are good people. How can you be so sure? Times have changed. People change. Isn't that precisely the problem? Mother never changed. Mother loved me until the end. Sometimes change is for the better, Princess. I think you'll see that today. If you'll excuse me, I shall see you later. Delora, do you think witches are capable of bringing back the dead? I wish you could talk to me, you and the others. My dolls are my only friends. They're the only ones I can trust. Unlike humans, they will never betray me. They will never hurt me. They will always be there for me. The moment I saw Delora, I knew she was special. She was different. So elegant and realistic, it was almost as if she was breathing. She was a gift from the king on my 17th birthday. I'd only started to receive dolls from him when Mother had passed away. Mother hadn't believed in birthday celebrations, but every year at midnight a letter would appear under my door. It would contain instructions leading me through the palace on an adventure to a room full of gifts, cakes, and sweets. A child's dream. I'd been fascinated by the dolls, which had always held a little greeting card. A card with the words, "I love you" on it, signed by M. The card would tell me to keep those celebrations a special secret, but I didn't need to be told that. Mother always found a way to show me she still cared. In her own way. The secret celebrations had stopped as soon as she had disappeared. Yes? Excuse me, Your Highness. The king has requested your presence. No, these are my presents. Oh, that kind of presents. This better not be another lecture. Tell him I'm on my way. I'll see you later, Delora. Oh. Good morning, Your Highness. Sir Mithras. Sir Mithras, the royal advisor. Father trusts him a great deal, just like he does Sir Alcaster. Every day you look more and more like your mother. I sometimes find Sir Mithras talking mother's portrait when he thinks no one is looking. He must have admired her a lot, but I can't bring myself to think highly of him. There's something about him that puts me on edge. Are you on your way to see the king? I shall not keep you then. Until our next meeting, dear princess. Your Majesty. Lucette, are you ready? You will enjoy this, Lucette. I've heard the toy shop has lovely dolls. This will be good for you. You'll get to know your sister better, and you will be able to interact with and learn about the people of Angielle, about our subjects. I will not learn anything I do not already know. Why do you always believe that the people around you are incapable of good? Because I've seen how quickly people will betray and manipulate each other to get what they want. Mother warned me about human nature. You do not see clearly, Lucette. If you would only open your eyes, you would be able to see how good people really are. I believe I'm already quite capable of seeing the true nature of people. After all, I have seen that there is no good in you. Lucette, where were you when I needed you 4 years ago? Where have you been since? Back then I'd been overflowing with grief and pain. I just lost my mother, my entire world. I'd hoped that maybe he would have shown me love and compassion. Even just a hug, to let me know someone was there. It had been a childish hope. I'd been left alone. I did not see him for months. I'd barely ever heard his voice. You cannot run anyone but yourself. You cannot trust anyone but yourself. That is what you've taught me. Your Majesty. I know that I've hurt you. I know that there's nothing I can do to atone for what I did. But please, Ophelia and her children are not part of that. They do not deserve to be hated. In the end, they still matter more to him than I ever did. Lucette. Enough. I've already said I'll go. Everyone is waiting outside. I shudder at the thought of leaving the palace after so many years. Lucette, it will be okay. How can you be so sure? Thank you for agreeing to accompany Emerald. I will not disobey an order from the king. Excuse me. Hello, how can I help you? Well, alrighty everybody, I think I'm going to end the video off here, and this will be my little quick look of the Cinderella phenomenon. The download link will be in the description below, so you can play it for yourself. I'm really enjoying the game so far. Artwork is pretty nice, and the story seems kind of interesting. It's an interesting take on the fairy tales of old. And with that, see you next time. Take it easy, everybody.